Welcome to Discovering. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. We're heading out on Little Bay De Noc for a morning of Delta County duck hunting. We got the scoop on this year's deer bedding regulations from the DNR, and I checked in with some of the Freedom For Patriots crew on their annual hunt.
It's very supportive for us vets to know that there's people out there that really do care.
Stick around, it's Monday night and time for Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forests thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
It was a brisk October morning, typical for the UP at this time of year. With a lot of setup to do, we set out early, a couple of hours before shooting time. The sky was clear, so we were looking forward to a great sunrise and hopefully a good morning of duck hunting.
So what we're doing right now, got a little ways to go up here, get the boat all set up. We got a few trees to move out of the way right now. Not a whole lot of cover there. We got to use what broken down trees we can. Kind of sucks because it's a grass blind, but we got to do what we got to do. Northeast wind right now. We're actually looking for more of a southwest, but here in a couple hours actually is moving to a southwest. So set up the decoys and everything for a southwest wind. Hopefully everything should go good. It's been going good the last few times we hunted here, so we'll see what happens. So what we're gonna do here, we got a couple trees to move out of the way just because we kind of stand here sometimes. Get these trees out of the way, get this boat nice and tucked in as best we can. And my brother, a couple other buddies are gonna get the braces set up so the boat doesn't tip on us and we can actually see out of it. Then I'm gonna go work on getting the decoy set up. We're gonna set up for a southwest wind, so we're kind of gonna have our landing zone coming in off the point right there. Normally we don't have too many birds come off. It's gonna be our left side today hunting. I usually don't go too fancy with like shapes of spreads and I just kind of throw them out because I don't know, I never really see too many ducks just sit in U's and whatnot. So I usually just make a nice little landing zone for them, kind of make it look a little bit more natural. Hopefully I think that'll work good today.
I got some in my blind bag.
Hey, stop. Oh, wow, that case is moist. You should I'm gonna call him Teal. Thank you. I know, sweet. Nice. Ducks aren't really noticing the decoys, so I'm gonna throw out another motion or a flapper, just see if that'll help. Put it a little higher in the air, maybe they'll see it. Oh, actually, that duck's coming in right now. Get him! All right, and they just missed every shot, so that's kind of funny too. But
You walk back to the truck.
this is an expensive sport. I mean, you don't have to go out and buy the newest, greatest, and whatnot. I mean, your old pump at home, or your old dad's semi, or your grandpa's shotgun, it'd probably work the best. You just, as long as just make sure you're shooting non-toxic ammo, or you don't have to go out and buy the greatest decoys and whatnot. Like when we first started, I went out and bought a dozen decoys for $30. I got a deal on them. And we worked with that for well over a year, but now we're just starting to finally upgrade all our stuff to really nice stuff.
Only got one. We got that one.
Clothes too. I would consider your clothes is probably one of your biggest thing. Like I just started out with like a normal rain jacket and whatnot, but then I upgraded a good value jacket. But to me, it's keeps me warm. And there's days I have 140-mile-an-hour winds and what. You don't always need a boat. Honestly, majority of the time, I hunt out of a kayak. I just spray paint it. We also got a little sled, we just bring out like a little snowmobile sled or whatnot. You can bring out, it floats in the water, works great. Bring out a dozen decoys and just box of ammo. That's all you really need. You can just go tuck up in some reeds somewhere and a few $100 to get started. You could get it. As long as you have a shotgun and whatnot, you could do it.
Try to find some buddies that have been doing it, or you have a grandpa that's been doing it, or that way you have someone to go with that is already established in the sport and they know what they're doing and they can give you some pointers and stuff like that. It helped us. We had a buddy that when we started, he had been hunting for a couple of years, and he really helped us our first year, got us going on what we needed to do and the right way to do it. And that's not just about going out and killing limits of birds, but it's a conservation thing too.
Why did you get up so fast? I don't know.
Birds everywhere.
My bad, boys. I got excited.
Hold on.
Don't get discouraged either. You're going to miss a lot. You're not going to get the prettiest birds. Some days you're not going to get any birds. Oh yeah, buddy. Are those redheads?
Yep. If you can find someone, just kind of bug them about it, like get in their ear. Like there's more and more people doing this every year. It's starting to become I feel like a younger man's game nowadays. Like you go on all the social medias and whatnot, there's always an outdoor page. It seems like they're starting up duck hunting or whatnot. So if you can find someone, just bug them about it. That's all I have to say, because this is probably one of the most fun sports to do out here. I mean, just everything about it. Like we can sit here and just talk just like this, and it won't be a big deal. You see ducks, start calling them at them, and the camaraderie is just fantastic about it. There's always a little bit of action going on and whatnot. I mean, I love deer hunting, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it just gets really boring sitting in a stand for hours on end, sometimes not seeing things, maybe just a couple does or the occasional buck, But, if you want to try it, find someone to do it. I highly recommend it. This is one of the best things we've ever started doing in my eyes.
If you get your DNR waterfowl book, there's a duck identification chart in the back of it. That really helps. Just make sure you're reading it, because with certain species you can only shoot so many ducks per day, mallards, but you can only shoot 2 hens a day. So make sure you know how to identify hen mallards and drake mallards and wood ducks, and that identification chart's right in the back of the DNR sports book. So that's a handy tool to have with you. We keep them in our blind bags. And
Ducks Unlimited also has an app you can get on the phone that they have a bunch of different stuff for articles and whatnot, how better ways to identify, and they got a big list of old divers, your puddle ducks, your geese, and you have your others like your swans and whatnot, which you can't shoot anyways, but it's still nice to know. But it also has the sounds of them on there, because that's another really big thing. A lot of people don't realize, your mallards quack, but there's a lot of ducks out there that whistle, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like wood ducks, they whistle. I mean, pintails and all that, they whistle. Mallards are probably one of the only few that actually quack. I mean, gadwalls do, black ducks, and just different variation of mallard, basically. That identification is key, big time. When they're flying, it's hard. It really is. Today, no, it's a little different because it's bright and sunny. You can see what's coming in and whatnot. You can kind of pick what you're looking at, especially when it's early in the morning. It's kind of cloudy sometimes. Like shooting light's not always light out, you know. So you kind of got to be careful what you shoot at in the morning sometimes. Just the size and actually how they flap their wings and whatnot, because like wood ducks are just a lot smaller than a mallard, of course. I mean, anybody could see that, but just even the way they flap their wings, the pace on how they do it and whatnot, how they work with the decoys.
Help you with your, oh, mine's getting away.
Talk about some of the birds we're getting today. Like we're having mallards coming in earlier. We only got one, and the other one we've had multiple other groups kind of working, but they really just didn't want to finish. And by the time we got stuff adjusted, hoping they would like it more, they kind of just not around here anymore. They're probably in the fields and whatnot. But now we're having some more divers come in right now. We had a big group of buffleheads come over earlier, but they just kind of came by buzzing, not a chance to even get a gun up. But now we're just having some more redheads come in right now. It's getting that point of year. It seems like at least around here we're having a lot more divers moving. I've seen a lot yesterday when I was out hunting. We just shot 2 redheads and hen and a drake, but we had how many other ones flying around. It's getting to be that time of year. Like to shoot more mallards, but we'll take what we can get out here on the public land. One of my dad's friends always told me never start duck hunting because you'll never do anything else in the fall time. Well, he wasn't kidding, because I don't really bow hunt much in the fall time until December now. So, and it's great. I mean, I love it. It's probably one of the best things I ever decided to do. I mean, I started senior year. I only went out hunting one time, but I didn't shoot anything that day. I was hooked ever since, and it's just the camaraderie. It's especially hunting out here in public land. It's a challenge. It really is. I mean, wake up a lot earlier than we really should half the time. I mean, opening day, I'm usually up at 1:30, 2 o'clock. And there's a lot of times I wake up super early and I might shoot one mallard, but you know what? It's worth it. Don't get me wrong. We don't have fields to hunt really, and we haven't really tried. We tried to get some, but we don't try all that hard. I don't know, just something about hunting the water. I love it. Wouldn't change it for anything.
What is that? I met with DNR wildlife biologist Karen Sexton to hear about some of the changes to this year's deer hunting regulations.
So we're about 2 weeks away from the opener of firearms season. Lots of folks are headed to camp, getting things ready. We've got our bow hunters that have been hunting for a few weeks now, and so just talking about some changes coming for the firearms season. So in our CWD core surveillance area, a lot of folks have heard about the new regulation changes. What's unclear to some people still is where exactly is that core CWD surveillance area, and is my camp or hunt spot within inside of it. So it's comprised of Highway 69 intersection at 41 and 2 going north to Highway 95. Follow Highway 95 south to the intersection of 141 and 2, which will go towards the west, and then you'll come to the boundary of Menominee River. The Menominee River is the western boundary. And then our southern part is County Road G18. Follow that east to where G18 intersects Highway 41, and then north again to the intersection of Highway 69 junction. Any CWD related regulation changes are specific to within that area. So that includes the removal of antler point restrictions on the combination buck license, including the restricted and the regular. That also includes the baiting and feeding ban. It also means that there's no recreational feeding within those areas, especially when the bait or feed would be accessible to deer. So there are some recreational feeding opportunities like turkey feeding. However, folks should be very informed as to what types of designs work to exclude deer to ensure that you are abiding by all regulations. So in addition to that baiting and feeding ban, we are allowing some other tools. Folks that tend to do drag ropes or wick scents or scrapes are still allowed to use urine-based products. Look for that ATA endorsement on the products, and most urine-based products have that endorsement. It's Archery Trade Association, and it just ensures that the product comes from a facility that is not CWD infected or minimizes the likelihood of prions being in that urine-based product. We are allowing for food scented materials if they are inaccessible to deer. So some of those food scented sprays that a hunter might want to use to either cover their scent or to attract a deer to an area, those can still be used. They just have to be inaccessible to deer. That would mean basically being out of the reach of the deer. In addition to that, we are also returning the use of antlerless take during the archery season on a combo license in those deer management units that are open to antlerless take. And so there's 6 different units in the Upper Peninsula that are open to antlerless take, and this is something that is being a tool being returned to our archery hunters following that lift during the lower deer herd number years. In addition to that, we did increase the number of antlerless licenses sold in the area, and also within the UP core surveillance area, folks that are looking to participate in the late archery season can in fact use a crossbow.
Across the country, we support and thank our veterans in a variety of ways. It's not surprising that here in the UP, one of the ways involves hunting. An annual hunt organized by Freedom for Patriots brings servicemen and women from all branches of service together for a weekend of hunting and camaraderie. The weekend includes a variety of get-togethers for all, as well as accommodations at various camps in the area. I stopped in at Peach's You See 'em, I Get 'em camp outside of Menominee.
We're back for another year at Freedom for Patriots. I was here last year too, and fortunate to come back this year. Last year I did a little hunting at Jeff Helgeson's up at Ragnarok. This year I'm over at Peach's. Everybody's having a good time again. I haven't heard much from the other camps, so we do have about 12 hunters in the field, and so hopefully everybody gets something. But I know they're all having a good time. And we do have a whole round of vets this year. We've got a female hunting with us this year that's having a great time, Army. We've got some Marines, we've got some Navy, Air Force, we got a couple Vietnam vets over at Ragnarok. So we're having a good old time. And Peach is my host this year, and can't say enough about him.
This is our second year of Freedom for Patriots hunt, Brian, and we're pretty excited to have, I believe we have 12 vets. 12. With me sitting here is Marine Corps veteran Tom Lewis, who's new to the hunt this year.
Last year, I wasn't involved in the hunt at all. I had a couple of friends. Craig was one of them. Chuck Lance was another one. They said, Tom, you need to get in with these people. They are a class act. And he's totally 100%. These guys are right. They treat us like we're gold, and they give us whatever we want, try to give us, provide the best food, stands, everything else. And it's not just the deer hunt. They do other things, football games, pheasant hunts, stuff like that. One of the best things I ever done was getting in with these guys, because it really, and it's very supportive for us vets to know that there's people out there that really do care. And these guys, they care a lot.
We had our meet and greet yesterday. We started at Walter Brothers and purchased all the hunting licenses and things. And from there, we went up to the rifle range up on 577, and we got everybody qualified at the range. We went there to John DeGrand's again, where John hosts these people in his taxidermy shop, and he gives them a gift certificate of their choice for any skull mount that they wish to get. From there, we go to Belgium Town, where Pam and Dan open their facility to us. We love them up there. Nobody's traveling around. They get the camaraderie of spending the whole day on Friday with your host camps. And Saturday morning, we'll get up, we'll do the same thing. Saturday evening, they'll hunt again. And from there, we have a scheduled raffle like we do every year at the Belgium Town again, with great prizes, guns, knives, Rapid River knives, you name it. People really step up to the plate when it comes to our veterans. We schedule a get-together with group photos at Edith Vincent Farm, and her staff and all the rest of the host camps and all their hunters and all their helpers and guides. And we had somebody step up to the plate, and they volunteered to put up a monster meat pole this year. We get a place in Armstrong Creek that stepped up to the plate this year. If they want it processed, they'll haul it to Millens in Armstrong Creek, 100% on them. Right immediately after the photos and everything at Edith's, Edith puts on a spread of food, and nobody goes away there hungry. And ultimately, our goal at Freedom for Patriots is to provide the best time available for these guys. It says it on our card. We give 100% of the money goes to the vets. Not a dime does our staffers make. At the end of the day, these guys come together, and they're so grateful. You just can't top this kind of thing.
Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to check out 906outdoors.com, where you'll find the 906 fishing report, TV6 weather, shopping, and more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week right here on Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.